Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're doing more Rainbow Cup battles, and this is actually one of the longer videos we have for you. And yeah, I'm just battling a subscriber, Pokemon Jackson. So thank you so much for the battles. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to battling you in the future. He's a really solid opponent, really strong, has cool Pokemon using awesome Pokemon like Scizor. So it's definitely a strong opponent, and we did win probably most of the battles in this video, or most of the battles that we played today, but that doesn't mean he's not a good player. He's certainly a great opponent. He's beaten me before in the past quite a bit, so he's really good. I just got him with the leads and whatnot, and most of the time, so he is really good. So I don't want you to think he's not good. He's certainly a strong opponent, but yeah, we're doing more Rainbow Cup videos, as I said, and I did invest in Forretress. So I actually went ahead and used Forretress in every battle this video because I wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to try Forretress out and really dedicate a video to it. I know my first video for the Rainbow Cup had Forretress, but that was before I invested in it. So yeah, I have Rock Tomb and the steel move. What move is that? Heavy Slam, excuse me, I was drawing a blank there. It's Heavy Slam and Rock Tomb, and some people like Earthquake. Let me know the moves that you prefer for Forretress. I like Rock Tomb because you can, in theory, beat Charizard with it, which I have before, so it, like there you go, you know. So granted, we didn't need that because we had a Pokemon in the back, but I mean, there have been situations where I was battling Jokes where we needed that Rock Tomb, and that's the only way we were able to win. So you know, I like Rock Tomb and I like Heavy Slam, but let me know what you guys prefer. Do you prefer the Earthquake? We have Earthquake on Quagsire, so I don't feel like I necessarily need it on Forretress, but definitely a solid Pokemon. So we switch into the Forretress right now, and I thought, oh great, he's gonna switch out into Charizard, but I had to pull the switch. He actually does not switch out, so that tells me that he has no good counters of Forretress. So Forretress could really do a number against an opposing team, unless if you have a counter to it. Now Charizard isn't the only counter. There's other pretty good Pokemon to it. Lantern could be a good Pokemon unless if they have Earthquake, I guess, because it resists Heavy Slam, and Thunderbolt, as well as Hydro Pump. You know, those are neutral to Forretress, so those are still doing a decent amount of damage to it, right? So there's other Pokemon that are good against Forretress, not just like Charizard or Fire types in general. So you have other Pokemon, but I'm just saying, yeah, if you don't have a good counter, Forretress is going to do incredibly well against your team, or against you. Yeah, it really is. So it's such a solid Pokemon. I do feel like it's better than Beedrill in my opinion. I just didn't want to spend the 70k, but I'm like, you know what? It's worth it. You know, you gotta go that 70k. You gotta invest in it because Forretress is such a good Pokemon. It's a really solid one, and it's one that I enjoyed using in this video. And I'm really glad he was able to sit down and battle quite a few battles with me because I just wanted to test out Forretress quite a bit. So yeah, gonna block this Heavy Slam right now. We would have easily been able to take that, but I didn't know it was Heavy Slam, I guess. You know, I wasn't, you know, so we just block it because there's really no reason not to at this point. So he hits me with Rock Tomb now, but again, we could take it, and we knock out Forretress, and we do go ahead and take that second game. So yeah, as I said, I'm using Forretress in every single battle in this video just because I wanted to have a Forretress video. I do have one, but yeah, I wanted another one. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, for this battle, we do begin with that Kingdra, and he begins with Meganium. Gonna get off that Frenzy Plant. Now, as I've mentioned in the past, Kingdra is really powerful. It does a lot of damage, but you're gonna have to use shields if you want to stay alive because it's a frail Pokemon. But at the same time, he can take shields from your opponent. That would have knocked out Meganium, or if it didn't, it would have come very close. I think it would have knocked it out, but either way, unfortunately, he's able to get to another Frenzy Plant before we're able to knock him out. So a little bad for us, but we bring in the Forretress. I didn't want to switch into Forretress, like switch out Kingdra into Forretress, because I was afraid of Charizard. Turns out he doesn't have a Charizard on his team, so nothing I have to worry about. As you saw, I got ready to switch. I'm glad I didn't immediately switch because sometimes that happens. But no, he doesn't have a Charizard on his team in this battle because he didn't bring it in against my Forretress. So getting off a Heavy Slam. He's going to go ahead and opt to block that, which is good for us. I'll take that. Rock Tomb is going to be neutral to us. so not too worried. Unfortunately, he actually gets off another charge move, which is going to be able to knock us out. So the last Pokemon is Meganium, so we're looking okay. I was hoping to knock him out with just a Vine Whip. Unfortunately, he gets to his Heavy Slam, doing a good amount of damage to us, but I knew I needed my charge moves ready to go for his final Pokemon, which is Quagsire. So we're going to hit that Frenzy Plant, and we're going to knock out Quagsire. So he almost won that one, guys. That was very close. I actually almost clicked Earthquake on that, but yeah, when I saw Quagsire coming in, I immediately switched to Frenzy Plant, and it went through with Frenzy Plant. So we do go ahead and take that one. But for this match, we're beginning with Poliwrath. Now, I feel like I made a mistake here. I feel like I should have went for that Ice Punch. Well, I blocked this Frenzy Plant because we don't want to take that. But we actually go for a Power Up Punch instead of Ice Punch, and he doesn't block it. Probably predicting the Power Up Punch, obviously. So I should have went for the Ice Punch, and now I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. So he's going to predict the Ice Punch, obviously, and block it. So that obviously makes sense. But yeah, I should have went reversed. I should have Power Up Punched the second time, or maybe Ice Punch the second time, but still Ice Punch the first time, just to do more damage on it. But that is okay. Gonna get off another Ice Punch against his Meganium, which will knock him out. And we'll wait to see what comes in, which will be that Quagsire. So we're actually able to get off another Power-Up Punch with that Poliwrath. So, yeah, that's nice, that's nice. Doing a lot of damage to it. I figure it's time that I could let Poliwrath fall. However, we're still able to get off yet another Power-Up Punch against it. So we'll go ahead and steal that last shield from him. So that is good for us. But I know he has plenty of energy stored up. So it is a scary situation because he's able to fire something off. But, yeah. There you go. I was about to say, but he doesn't have Earthquake, but no, he actually does have Earthquake. For a second, I didn't think he has Earthquake, but no, he does. He doesn't have Stone Edge. But we do still knock him out, and he brings in his Forretress, so gonna go ahead and use that Rock Tomb, which is gonna be neutral. Obviously, Earthquake, if we had it, would have been better. Gonna pull the switch immediately to charge up and try to get to a Thunderbolt, which we're able to do. So we get to that Thunderbolt, and does this knock it out? I believe it does. Yes, it does. It does knock it out. I didn't want him to charge up a bunch of energy against my Forretress, so I switched out into Lantern just so I could get to the Thunderbolt because I knew nothing he had could take me out. Heavy Slam certainly wasn't going to do anything. And then, you know, and his other move, Rock Tomb, is not going to do much. Earthquake would have if he had it, but I'm going to switch into Blastoise. Obviously, he has the better lead on me, but he doesn't switch out. He just stays in. Well, he does switch out, but he uses that first into Scizor, so not a direct counter to Blastoise. So good for us, still doing a lot of damage with that Hydro Cannon because Scizor is a frail Pokemon. Now, I still think Scizor is good, and we will be testing it out and using it, but it is frail. But anyway, we get off a Hydro Cannon against Lapras, which isn't going to do much, but that's okay. Trying to get off another one, unfortunately not able to happen, so we're going to let Blastoise fall at this point. We have the Kingdra, and we have the Forretress in the back. Going to bring out Forretress for a little bit. I knew I resist like Ice Beam and his Ice Shards, so I wasn't too worried about it. I figured I would take this Ice Beam, and we do take it. A little bit of lag, but it didn't really affect. Actually, I take that back. It does affect it. He actually switches out and knocks out my Forretress before I could do anything. You saw that my Forretress fainted immediately. That was a total glitch. He got a bunch of free shots in, which is fine. I mean, it's a practice game. I don't care. You know, anyway, at this point, I'm like, it's not really looking too great because he does have his Lapras, and we actually get off in Outrage, and I believe he blocks us. Yes, he does, because he has an Ice Beam that he's going to get off, and I thought that was going to knock me out, but we actually survived and were able to win. But I can't believe we won that because our Forretress just went down for free. Like, I would have switched out Forretress had I known, if I could, if I knew Charizard came in. But Charizard came in and just was able to knock out Charizard Forretress without me seeing anything. But that is okay. Oh, got that off my chest, you know. But anyway, for this battle, we're using Forretress, and he's using a Santa Raichu. Brick Break's not going to do much to our Forretress. He brings in his Steelix, and I decided to stay in because I know X's is not going to do much. We resisted. Going to go ahead for that Rock Tomb, and I believe he's neutral to Rock Tomb, but he's going to go ahead and block it, so that's good for us. We'll take a shield any day of the week. I'm going to go ahead and let this X-Scissor go off because I knew it wasn't going to do a lot to us, and trying to get to another Rock Tomb, which we do. So we get to another one, and this is going to do it. Actually, it knocks it out. I didn't think it knocked it out, but it actually did knock it out. So, yeah, he's bringing in Kingdra right now, which will feint my Forretress, and that's okay. That's okay. So, yeah, we're gonna bring in Venusaur at this point, and yeah, look how much damage that Dragon Breath is doing. Dragon Breath is just so OP, guys. That's why I feel like Kingdra is so good for this cup. I feel like it's underrated. I don't know. I've seen people say it's not that good for this cup. I don't know, guys. I think it's really good. I mean, obviously, Azumel is a counter, but I still think it's amazing. He switches out into Raichu, and we're going to get off a Frenzy Plant, and that's going to knock out Raichu, so that's good for us. Trying to get to another Frenzy Plant, not able to happen, but we bring in Lantern, and we're looking good at this point because we're able to block that Outrage. Even if we didn't have a shield, we would have survived that, and I believe we would have still gotten to this Thunderbolt. Pretty sure we would have, so I still think we had that game, but yeah, so really good match, really good match. Thanks for the game. Yeah, we have several more battles. This is already over 10 minutes, and I told you it's a longer video for today, guys. I don't know how long exactly, but definitely longer than how it usually is. You know, I like to switch things up at times. But for this video, I am beginning with Kingdra, and he begins with Moltres and switches into Butterfree. Now, I had no idea what moves Butterfree got. I just gotta be honest with you guys. I had absolutely no idea what moves Butterfree got. But we're going to go ahead and block this. I realized that it had confusion, but I just didn't know at the time. And that confusion, you know how good confusion is. So maybe Butterfree can put in some work. Who knows? But he brings in Azumel. Unfortunately, I immediately clicked on Outrage without seeing what he was going to bring in. But that is okay. I figured I'll just do as much damage as possible until we get knocked out. But we actually get off another Outrage, which, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. He's going to go ahead, or I'm going to go ahead and bring in Forretress right now. And I know I resist Ice Beam and Play Rough, and I knew he didn't have Hydro Pump on his because I've seen his moves. So I knew that I'd be able to take these moves, so I just go ahead and take them. And we go ahead and get off a Heavy Slam, which is going to be neutral because it's part Fairy type, so we do go ahead and knock that out just fine. Moltres is going to make quick work. You know, I was trying to switch, but I wasn't even able to. That's how fast it was at absolutely destroying my Forretress, you know. But I guess he decided to bring Fire types after realizing that I was bringing Forretress every game. So I guess that's what happened. But he does go ahead and block that Stone Edge. But I was confident at this point, seeing that he had Heat Wave. I assumed he didn't have any move, or second move on it, I should say. But I could also be wrong. I know Moltres got Sky Attack, which we would have survived as well. I don't know what else it gets. I haven't really looked into it. But either way, we do go ahead and take that one. So another fine game. Gonna go ahead and move on to yet another game, of course. He begins with Moltres again, and I'm gonna begin with my Quagsire. So I would say this is a pretty good matchup for us. It doesn't take long to get to Stone Edge. He pulls a really nice switch into that Azumel to take the Stone Edge. So that's good for him, good on his end. But we do go ahead and have a counter to that, which is gonna be Lantern. So we could take Ice Beam, obviously, which it is. I was expecting Play Rough, which would have done more damage, but we could still take them anyway. So we get off that Thunderbolt, and that actually knocks him out. I'm surprised he didn't use a shield there, but you know, I guess he didn't want to waste the shields. I don't know. But he brings in Butterfree, and we're gonna go ahead and get off yet another Thunderbolt and trying to knock it out, which he's gonna go ahead and block. That is okay. Trying to get to another Thunderbolt. He actually pulls a switch into Moltres, and I decide to go, well, I'm going to go ahead and block this because I want to be able to get off a Hydro Pump, which I believe I go for. Yeah, I go for the Hydro Pump, and he has one more shield left, I think, or does he not? I thought he did. Why didn't he block that? I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to block it, but he knocks out Lantern. Yeah, he has one more shield, right? Or two more shields. I don't know. I know he has shields left, but we go ahead and, yeah, at this point I knew it was pretty much a good game because we get off Heavy Slam, and that, you know, obviously is going to knock out the Butterfree, and we're going to be able to take that game. So that was yet another really fun game, Thank you so much for that. And we're going to go ahead and jump into another one, of course. Beginning with Meganium this time, he begins with Heracross. Heracross is another Pokemon I do want to try out, just for fun. Whether or not I think it's good, I still want to just use it. But right now we switch into Kingdra. He's going to switch into Forretress. We do get a lot of damage off on that Heracross, so I'm okay with that. Actually, Outrage doing a decent amount of damage. It does resist it, but still, Dragon Breath and Outrage are powerful moves. It's still going to do a lot of damage, or a decent amount of damage. But we do bring in Forretress right now. I'm going to go ahead and block this. I don't know why I blocked that. I should not have blocked that. I have no idea why I blocked it. I think I blocked it because I thought he had Earthquake, but I was mixing it up with his Quagsire, which has Earthquake. His Forretress does not have Earthquake, so I believe that was just a mistake on my end. Obviously, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have shielded that. But anyway, we go for the Heavy Slam against his Heracross, knocking it out. And his final Pokemon is going to be that Venomoth. So Rock Tomb would do a lot of damage if he didn't have a shield. Unfortunately, he does. So I knew we wouldn't be able to get to another one. And I looked at my Pokemon in the back, and yeah, all I saw was Meganium, unfortunately. Now, I did go for the Heavy Slam just to take his last shield, and I did take his last shield, which is good, I guess, but unfortunately, Bug Buzz is just going to eat us up. It's going to eat us for dinner, so he does go ahead and take that game. So really nice game. Really nice game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another one, of course, guys. Beginning with Kingdra, and he does begin with his Heracross, pulling the switch immediately into Forretress. I go ahead and switch into Lantern. Unfortunately, I don't have Charizard with me. I wish that I did, but unfortunately I don't. We could take those Heavy Slams. We could even take Rock Tomb. I'll do more damage, but we could take it. We decided to go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt, hoping to catch a shield, and we actually do. So that was good. We didn't spend as much energy, so that was good for us. And he's going to go ahead and use that Rock Tomb. As I said, we can take it. Not as well as Heavy Slam, but we can still take it. Getting off a Thunderbolt, which is going to do a lot of damage, and these Charge Beams are going to be able to finish it off. So that's really nice. That's really nice. He's going to bring in his Heracross, which will knock us out. So thinking about it for a little bit, I decided to bring in Kingdra because I knew I was close to an Outrage, and we do go ahead and get that Outrage off, which will take his last shield, so I'll definitely take that. He brings in Venomoth. I'm not too worried about Venomoth this battle, I don't think, because I have a different Pokemon in the back, which is Forretress, so we could take these Bug Buzzes all day long. Well, that still did a decent amount of damage, so I shouldn't say we could take them all day long, but, you know, obviously you could take it better than Meganium, but Bug Buzz is a powerful move, so we could definitely take them, but we're going to go ahead and block that because we have 2 shields, only 1 Pokemon left, we might as well. Getting off the Heavy Slam right now, doing a lot of damage to that Heracross, and I knew it was game over because we still had a shield, so even if he got to close combat, we would have knocked him out. Well, we would have blocked it and then knocked him out, right? So that is a GG. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another game, beginning with that Kingdra. He begins with a Zoomel, so he has the perfect lead for us. We got his Bell almost immediately. There's really nothing good to switch into, though, unfortunately. And then he's able to bring in his Charizard. So it's like, at this point, I'm like, I don't know, guys. I'm just hoping that he doesn't, he hasn't blocked my Rock Tomb for some reason. Maybe he's thinking I'm trying to bluff him. So that's what I was hoping for, but no, he blocks it. So yeah, he got our Forretress for free. So this is not looking good for us. He definitely has the better team in this situation. We bring out Kingdra. Gonna go ahead and block that Dragon Claw. I mean, it wouldn't have knocked us out, but it still would have done a good amount of damage. He actually gets off another one. I decide, you know what? At this point, why not? We'll go ahead and block it. Getting off an Outrage, but again, it doesn't matter. He blocks it. He probably shouldn't have because we knocked him out anyway, but again, it doesn't matter because we're not in a good position at this point. I switch immediately, getting off a Dragon Claw right now, and you'll see how much it does to a Kingdra. So I'll take the damage, but it's nothing super crazy. He actually switches into a Zoomel just as I click on the Dragon Claw, so really nice switch on his end. Yeah, so Charizard can't go up against the Zoomel, and then we bring in Kingdra, which also can't go up against the Zoomel. So 2 Pokemon that can not go up against the Zoomel, so he's going to easily clean that game up. So really nice game. Really nice game. So we're jumping into, this might be the final match, beginning with Forretress. He does begin with his Azumel, I guess because he thought it worked really nicely the game before, but we have a better lead up than we did last game, so hopefully this works for us. And he's going to go ahead and get off Ice Beam, but we could take Ice Beam and Play Rough because we resist them. So we'll go ahead and use that Rock Tomb and see how much damage it does. Doesn't really do a lot, but you know, I'll take it. He switches into Charizard, so I switch ASAP, unless if I want a fried, crispy Forretress, which I don't. So we're going to go ahead and take that Dragon Claw. We could have taken a Blast Burn too, even though it still would have done a lot of damage. We could take it. Get off a Thunderbolt, and he's going to show us that he is not going to allow it, so he blocks it. And yeah, just seeing if I can get to another Thunderbolt. I knew he'd be able to get to a Dragon Claw before we did, so I'm going to go ahead and block this Dragon Claw just so we can get to the Thunderbolt. And I believe this takes his last shield, unless if he lets Charizard go down. He does let Charizard go down. Okay, so I thought he blocked that, but no, he let Charizard go down, and then he brings in Kingdra, which is going to knock out Lantern, and I'm okay with that because we have switch advantage at this point. We could bring in Forretress, which is really not good for us. I mean, you could see how well that Kingdra is doing against us just because of how much damage Dragon Breath does, you know, even to Forretress, which resisted, right, you know. But we're going to go ahead and bring in Quagsire. Hopefully Quagsire can save us. It could definitely save us from that outrage. He brings in a Azumel, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just go for the Earthquake because I knew that would knock it out. Whereas Stone Edge, I think it would come close, but I don't think it would knock it out. So we do go ahead and get to that Earthquake, which does knock out Azumel, and then his final Pokemon is that Kingdra, and we do get to the Stone Edge and knock it out. So really close game. Quagsire cleaning up. Really fun games. Thanks a lot. If you want to battle again, definitely send me a message and we can battle. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. See you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.